First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
The NFL season is officially underway. Steelers, Cowboys kicking off. Could last night be a sign of things to come in Dallas? Charles Barkley, not a fan of LeBron's super teams. Does he have the right to question the King's legacy? And Aaron Rodgers reminding us all that despite the drama, he still might be the best quarterback in the game. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wild. Best quarterback in the... Are we not even going to talk to Mahomes about this? We're just going to just hand him the award. Just give it to Rodgers already.
That's just He should have made Jordan Love try to do that after. He should have said, Jordan, now your turn. You go try.
Not a Photoshop, by the way.
Poor Jordan.
Not a Photoshop. Hey, we got a great show. We're going to start with Cowboys and Steelers. A little preseason from last night. Dak Prescott not on the field, and it showed. Cowboys with a stagnant offense all night long. Couldn't get anything going. Jay Glazer says the boys expect Dak to be ready, though, for week one. But Dallas continues to be cautious as their quarterback nurses that injured shoulder strain that he suffered in camp. At halftime last night, Dak talked to Terry Bradshaw about both of his injuries. Take a listen.
How long do you think you'll be able to get in the action and find yourself comfortable? And number two, I don't understand where the injury was in your shoulder. When I heard it, I thought it would be the rotator side, but it's my understanding it's actually underneath the shoulder. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But as far as my ankle, I mean, I've done so much rehab. I've worked continuous, a lot of hours just to get myself back, and I'm very confident in it. So I don't think it'll take any time before I'm just back out there. I mean, the practices that I've had, I didn't think about my ankle. I was just being a part of the offense, being a part of all of it. So now it's just about getting the shoulder behind me. And when we're just being cautious. We're taking it day by day. Obviously, it's 5 weeks before season opener. So I've got a lot of time, and I'm going to use that time and get myself ready for that game.
So Dak says they're just being cautious. Troy Aikman weighed in on the situation. He said this: the Cowboys are downplaying it, but I think when your franchise quarterback is missing the amount of time he's missing, I tend to think it's probably a little bit more significant than what they have led on. All right, Brandon, Troy sounds concerned, not going to lie. Should Cowboys fans be worried about Dak's shoulder?
Absolutely. Troy's right. You know, when you hear Dak Prescott say, you know, it's day to day, we're going to take it day to day, but there's 5 weeks left until the season opener. That's what I'm getting ready for. That's a problem. You already took off 10 months, right? And that took off 10 months. So week 6, you went down with that brutal and devastating ankle injury, and you were off for 10 months. So everybody's excited to get back out there. You're excited to get back out there. You've only been in camp for pretty much a week, and now you're dealing with this. So yeah, there's more to this. Now, the good thing about the National Football League around their stars is there's a lot of smart coaches out there. There's a lot of smart organizations out there to say, you know what? We don't have to rush it. Let's protect our guy. We know what's more important. But the problem at the quarterback position, Nick, is you are the guy. You need to be able to get the perfect fit in the run game and handing the ball off with your guys. I got to be talking about protection. You got to get those reps. That's not a position that you can sit on the sideline and say, okay, once I get back in, I insert myself and we'll pick up right where we left off. This is a game of inches. This is a game of rhythm. This is a game of continuity. His wide receivers, he needs to feel his wide receivers at the top of the route. He needs to be able in constant communication with those guys in between plays, after different series in 7-on-7, team drill, live, 4-minute drill, 2-minute drill. He's not getting those reps. Now, I know he's a pro and he'll take advantage of the meeting time. I know he'll be talking to them, you know, on the sideline. But when you can't get in the rhythm with your wide receivers, your tight ends, your running backs, that throw you off. Everybody's excited. And I don't know if you felt it, but I was getting excited about the Cowboys, Nick. I was ready to go all in on the Cowboys.
I heard you.
Just 3 months ago, I said, I don't want to talk about the Cowboys anymore. But Dan Quinn is talking about changing up some things from this ancient defense. And then you have Dak Prescott, who's coming back, and he was looking good in day 1, day 2. So I was getting excited. So if I'm a Cowboys fan, I would be sad right now. I would be disappointed, and I will also be curious.
And the other thing he needs, Brandon, he needs to get hit before week 1 against Tampa Bay. I don't think he can say he feels great about the ankle, and I believe him. But we have heard guys talk time and again that, you know, after you suffer that type of injury, and I think it's worth noting, Dak has been a guy who's never really suffered any injuries, had never missed a game. And then he has the brutal leg injury and now a shoulder injury that he's dealing with. I wouldn't want his first live action to be up against that monstrous Tampa Bay front 7. But I took away what you took away, which is when he sets the timeline on, we got 5 weeks, that is a little concerning.
Right.
I take almost everything Troy Aikman says very seriously, but I particularly take it seriously when he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I think Troy probably has a little more insight into this situation than maybe anyone in the media. And here's the other reason I would be concerned, Wilds. Did you watch who the Cowboys were trotting out at quarterback yesterday? Garrett Gilbert, Ben DiNucci, Cooper. Like, by the way, I'm not trying to act as if Andy Dalton is a guy you want as your starting quarterback, but the Cowboys right now have to deeply regret not having Andy Dalton still on the roster. And so what they had at quarterback yesterday is not tenable. I don't care how good the rest of the roster is. It doesn't matter. That is a 3-13 situation if you were to not have Dak all year. So that's, by the way, a miss by them to not go out and get just a competent backup quarterback when your quarterback is coming off a massive injury. And it's bad luck in their part that Dak evidently hurt his shoulder because he didn't warm up, you know, for a throw, according to him, the way he should have. But yeah, I would be concerned if I were the Cowboys, Wilds.
Yeah, I'd be concerned enough that I either call Nick Foles or I call Phillip Rivers and be like, hey, we don't know what's up with Dak, but why don't you come on down? I don't know if you saw the Hall of Fame game, but we think you guys are a better option. There's a little, so I'm not wildly concerned, but concerned enough. Here's the other thing, Brandon. I got really 3 reasons. One is the timetable. When he got hurt, it's July 29th, and McCarthy was like, he's going to be throwing in the next few days. All right, it was 12 days ago. So the fact that the timetable has been a little bit screwy puts a note on my concern bulletin board. The other thing is this, and it was off of Glazer's report. And Bradshaw mentioned it too. It's like, was it up here or was it down here? It's an unconventional injury to the point where Glazer said the Cowboys doctors called the Texas Rangers, which I think is great. It's 2 heads are better than 1, especially when you're dealing with medical injuries. But it does make me think that since it's an unconventional injury, and again, another post-it note on my worry board. And the other thing is this, I don't think the Bucks game is like super far away. He's like, I got 5 weeks. Like, all right, but are we talking about you being competent and throwing, or are we going to talk about being 100%? Right. Because that, to me, that's a must-win game. You have to start the season off strong, go into Tampa Bay, get a win. Tom Brady is, you know, in his mid-40s. He's going to be 100%, and he's going to throw the ball. You're not going to be able to run the ball on the Bucs. They've got the #1 rushing defense, so you're going to have to throw it. So I'm not thinking. My concern is that, all right, yeah, he might be able to throw the ball in practice, but are you going to be 100%? Because you're going to need to be 100% to make a game out of an opening night with the Bucs. You got to be 100%. So yes, this has hit my worry meter.
Look, Wilds, there's a few things that we have to look at, right? I've been in the league I was in the league for a long time, and I never heard of that type of injury, right? A lot of quarterbacks. Nick was the first one to tell me how many quarterbacks I had the privilege of playing with. I think he said it was like 17, 18 quarterbacks. That's a lot. And I've never heard one of my quarterbacks talk about any type of strain or any type of pain underneath their arm. You always see the guys icing their shoulders. You always see the guys getting work on their shoulders. So for Dak to be dealing with something underneath his arm, that's interesting. And it also sounds like it's a strain, like it's a muscle. What did he say, Nick? He said that I didn't warm up properly for a